Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Love and Light Show. And this one is a little bit different because we're going to be talking about heart and soul sexual healing, which is a beautiful, amazing, powerful joint collaboration that I'm co-creating with a beautiful Christine Cliff, and she's going to be joining me in a minute. We were trying to get Yay, she's on now. We were trying to get Be Live to work and it let us go on for a second and then it interrupted the broadcast and turned it off. So if anyone was joining that one, I'm sorry for the delay and thank you guys so much for your patience. Saying that she's watching and I would like to add her to my broadcast, bring her on camera. Good energies to Facebook now. We were sending good grounding, supportive energies to Be Live, and now this one's adding on Facebook. And yay, she's on live with us. Beautiful.
Hi.
And you're very centered, so this is good. We're making it work during the Mercury retrograde season. And hi, Jennifer and Holly. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. So this is the Love and Light Show, where every Wednesday and Friday we bring you different light workers and healers and heart-centered entrepreneurs to support you guys on your healing journey. I'm just gonna calm myself down a little bit and be like, okay, we can make this work and flow and take my time instead of being rushy, rushy. Okay. And I'm so excited for this episode where we're going to talk to you guys about what heart and soul healing is, why we feel every single woman who's growing up in this North American society needs to heal and let go of these wounds and these societal limiting beliefs and the junk that's just been holding us back in our life, why that's very important, especially in this day and age, and also how you guys can move forward on your healing journey. And we're going to give you a beautiful healing experience towards the end so that you guys can benefit right now in this present moment. And we encourage you guys to share this out with any other friends or sisters or loved ones in your life that need this loving support and healing energy in their world so they can move forward and be that brighter, more loving, better version of themselves. And that's what the Love and Light Show is all about, for us to get the different tools and techniques and strategies that'll support us on our journey so we can be a better version of ourselves, first and foremost for ourselves, and then we can share that with other people in their life so we can be that change that we want to see in the world. And I'm super excited for Christine to be joining us today. How are you doing?
I am great. I am so excited we finally
Yay!
got it to work.
I know, me too. I'm good grounding energies to everything. We can just it's we will make it work. We can do this. We've tried over and over, and the technology is doing very beautiful things with us now. So I love it. And I'm Laura McPhee. I'm a joyful goddess. I'm a speaker, healer, and coach, and I love helping women on their journey to get to their dream lives now so that they can fill themselves up with unconditional love, that they can love every part of themselves fully and completely on all levels, that they can serve from an overflowing cup, and that they can heal and release their limiting beliefs that they can't do it because they're not good enough or pretty enough or smart enough or sexy enough or whatever blank enough that's in their subconscious that's been holding them back so they can move forward. So this is what I'm super in love with and passionate about, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys more about all this beautiful sexual healing that we're doing, and for Christine to also introduce herself and all the beautiful things. She has all the clairs. She's an incredible, powerful, intuitive healer and Master Reiki practitioner and teacher, and just has incredible experiences on her journey as well.
Okay, so yeah, I have had I'm going to say quite the path to get here. So currently,
Hmm.
I label myself. I don't like labels, but they work
Yeah.
sometimes.
We're not going to cook food for you. We're going to heal for you.
Yeah. So I am a naturopath practitioner and energy healer.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so the universe has downloaded me and attuned me and taught me so many healing techniques over the last
Mhm.
couple of years. It has been so amazing. So,
Yay.
yeah, it
Love it.
really has. And as things are coming, I'm like, I don't know what this is. I know we're doing good, and so it take a few times.
Yay.
And yeah, and it will really hit. It's like, oh, that's that. And so,
Mm.
yes, I've been really lucky that the universe has downloaded and I've been listening to what they've
Yes.
been sending. Sometimes things are sent and we don't listen. Um,
Hmm.
and so,
Those
anyway,
little nudges that have to get louder before we were like, oh, you want this to be right now? Okay.
yeah, so I'm happy I've listened as much as I have.
Yes.
Yeah, to allow those clairs to come in My
Mm,
strongest one is clairsentient. So the
mhm.
feeling,
Yes.
feeling other people's pains, feeling where people
Mhm.
need work. And yeah, and I'm very guided. The universe really
Right.
literally takes my hand and helps me help the people I help. So
Yes.
97% of the people I work with are women,
Mhm.
which I absolutely love. Because, like you, I want women to feel empowered. I want
Yes.
them to know that life doesn't have to be sucky, doesn't have to be
Mhm.
painful, right? We are here to enjoy life. That's why we're
Yes.
here. We came here
Mhm.
to Earth to enjoy it, to have fun.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
most people just go through life just kind of on a treadmill and take
Mhm.
things as they come. And so I like to help people heal the
Yes.
physical, the emotional, and most times the physical is caused by emotional. So really, when we get down to it, it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's clearing out that emotional um, baggage, right? That we've trapped in the
Mhm.
body from whatever traumas and tribulations, right, that have happened up to this
Mhm.
point. Yeah. And like
Yes.
I am super excited about tomorrow and our
Yay,
heart
me too.
healing. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I've been doing some heart and healing shows in Fredericton for the last
Mhm.
year. And so yeah, so we are collaborating on this special one
Yay.
to yeah, for sexual healing. A lot
Mhm.
of women hide that, right?
Yeah.
Or they think, you know what? I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm going to put it behind
Mhm.
me and I'm going to move on, which is wonderful. And they do somewhat. But when we just kind of shove things to the back, it gets trapped in there and it's still causing
Mhm.
issues without people realizing it.
Right, definitely.
Yeah. And there's people who have um, come to me and, their traumas of having been sexually abused, having had miscarriages, having had abortions, all these things
Mhm.
um, that they don't realize is part of what's the issue now,
Yeah.
right? Because
Mhm.
they no longer think about it. So it's like, oh, no, no, it's not part of my life now. But if it has
Mhm.
happened and you have not gone through a healing process, which you don't, not everyone needs someone else to help them, but if you haven't gone to that healing process and truly eliminated it out of your body, it is causing some sort of ailment or
Mhm.
disturbance within the body.
Yep. Or you're attracting people that you don't want, or toxic people, or
Yes,
codependent relationships, or you're feeling stuck, or you're not really going as far as you want to in your career, or your business, or your dreams, your goals, your travel adventures, your desires. Like you're hitting up against walls because you're not fully open to receiving. You're not fully feeling safe in your body and your experience, and you're feminine in your ability to receive all that the universe has to offer us. Like we put all these different walls and barriers and shields and things up because we are living this human experience and it served us at the time. If we were experiencing any kind of violation where we're unfortunately in these human bodies experiencing molestation or rape or abuse or feeling unsafe or harassed or pressured to have sex or obligated to do something with a partner or a boyfriend or a husband, all of those things create resistance in our body. Our body does these things to protect us in the moment, but then later in life, we're like, this isn't working for me. It's triggering me. It's causing things in my life to be out of balance, for me to have that dis-ease in my body. And instead of just being like, okay, this is how life is, you can be like, I'm going to do something about it now. I can be the one who supports myself in moving forward and clearing and releasing those old, stuck, or stagnant energies or traumas or cell trauma or frozen energy or whatever it is specifically in your body, we can clear it out so that you can be open to receiving again. You can be open to receiving more unconditional love from yourself, from your higher power, if that's God, creator, source energy, the universe, whatever you want to call it, or from a partner, or from financial abundance, because money and sex energy is super similar vibration. So you can be so much more open and limitless and expansive when you do this work, when you can receive. And especially as women, like we are receivers, like physically in our body, we are energetically receivers and physically receivers. So when we're cut off from our sexual energy, and that like pure, potent, powerful energy that can literally bring miracles of life into the earth, that really holds us back in so many other areas of our life because we're disconnected from that innate ability within ourselves. Like we're the only, like women have a clit, which only purpose is for pleasure. Like men, their penis can produce semen, can create more life, can pee and do all the other things. Like it has so many other different functions, and women can literally just receive pleasure for pleasure's sake, for no other reason than pleasure. And to be disconnected from that, from like North American culture and the patriarchy and all the other things that we could go on separate rants about, like that's doing a huge disservice, not only to women, but to men and the earth and everything else, because women being suppressed and shamed and being sexualized and objectified is a huge disservice to everyone on the planet, because women being small and feeling constricted and little and unsafe is literally separating the feminine from the incredible potential and flow that we can have to heal the earth, to heal ourselves, to connect with the world in a better way, and to co-create more incredible experiences for everyone, men and women, on our journeys.
Excuse
So
me.
that's like my like huge rant is like everyone who feels called to this should reach out, should be like, okay, this is my next best step. Like, and we're doing an online experience too. So we're doing the Fredericton version of it. So that 2 hour experience tomorrow in Fredericton between 7 and 9.
Mm.
I'm like trying to think of all my different events in my head. And we're also going to be doing an online one. So we'll be putting all the different information in the comments below for you guys to see after. But this is literally for any woman who's like, yeah, I have felt unsafe. I have dealt with some kind of negative energy in my life that I don't want to be holding me back anymore, so that you can move forward on your journey and not be held back by the things that have, quote, happened to you. And not just being like, oh, I want to like not be a victim, I want to be a survivor. It's like, why don't we all thrive? Why can't we all just be these unconditional loving beings and clear and release the subconscious blocks, the negative energy, the limiting beliefs that have been holding us back in all areas, so we can show up as more authentic, loving, vulnerable, brave versions of ourselves in love with each other and the world that we're in.
Yeah, and I want to add to that that if tomorrow, the Fredericton event and our online event does not work with your timeline,
Mm-hmm.
though we want as many people to attend those as possible, but it is
Mm-hmm.
summer, right? So
Yes.
some people's schedules, they've already have things planned and in the works for their families, and we understand that. So if these
Mm-hmm.
times don't work, reach out. Like, still reach out
Yes.
to us, and we will let you know if we have something else coming up or how we can um, work on this, how we can help you
Yes.
get to where you want to be. Okay, so this isn't just like
Mm-hmm.
a one off, you can't make it to this, then we're not going to help
Right.
you with your, we're not going to help you with, right, the
Mm-hmm.
baggage and stuff that you're carrying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because some people, like, oh, I can't come to that. Let me know when you're doing something else. No, no. You send us a message and
Mm-hmm.
let us know, like, oh, this has hit home.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you don't want your next step, what you want your next step to be, just that it hit home and you're ready to start. And if that's where
Mm-hmm.
you're at, then yeah, really reach out to us.
Definitely. And like this was super like divinely timed because I was doing From Broken to Blissful, and that's my 3 month group coaching and healing program where literally I step through step by step women going through the process of unconditionally loving themselves, like clearing and releasing the like I'm not good enough, and I have like issues with my face or my body or my cellulite or my bum or my boobs or whatever our like societal image of ourselves, being like we can love ourselves, we can love ourselves without feeling like we have to like be in our masculine all the time and producing and doing for others and caretaking for others, that we can love ourselves for being a being on this earth in the exact human form that we're in and love ourselves for it. Like fall in love fully and completely with ourselves, with our being, with who we are authentically, and healing and releasing and letting go of everything in our past that's holding us back, doing that forgiveness work and that inner child healing work and all those different layers that come up on the journey to clear those and to be like, this is a layer of an onion that's ready to be healed right now. And I can go a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper and feel how much lighter it is and how much more free it is and how many more awesome opportunities come into my life when I clear these things and how much more like-minded people I attract in and partners and situations and opportunities and projects that like come in when we're in that more healed loving space instead of being like I'm bleeding and I have this gaping wound and I'm bleeding on all my loved ones over here even though they didn't hurt me or trigger me. And we're living in a world where hurt people are hurting people, so we have to take ownership that although it's not our fault that things happened in our past, as adults, we are now responsible to heal ourselves, not only for ourselves, but for the future generations. Like this travels through ancestral lines. And when we heal ourselves, it also sends the healing back and sends the healing forward to all future generations and future lives. So it's like infinitely positive to do this healing work and it will support the world so much. And that's why like we're so lit up by it. And especially women doing this work, literally we can embody unconditional love for ourselves and what healing looks like in our bodies for our children. Every single person who's a human being on this planet has to come through a woman. So literally women deciding that we're going to, as a collective, love ourselves unconditionally, heal the stuff that's coming up and embody that for our children, embody what self-love looks like, embody what equality and loving relationships look like, would change the entire world in an entire generation. It would just be that simple of unconditional love instead of trying to do all the other things and success and the things that society is saying about success and reaching for the top and corporate ladders and things. Instead of focusing on those, if we focused on loving ourselves and our relationships and the people in our lives, that would change the world. So that From Broken to Blissful program was like a 3-month deep dive. And some women who reached out, who I listened to their stories and got to know and like I'm in love with because they're soul sisters on my journey, they were like, I'm really scared to do 3 months. Like, that seems like a lot. And I get that because on my journey, I did it over a decade. So it's like, I totally get that. And we wanted to do like this 2-hour experience to give you that taste test of it, to get your feet wet and to clear off the layer that's ready to be released right now so that we can help you in moving forward where you're at on your journey right now. And you don't have to have those stories or those excuses or limiting beliefs coming up in your head about why you can't do this healing work right now, that you're like, okay, I can do these like little baby steps in between so that you can feel safe in starting this journey instead of being like, oh my God, this is this big, huge iceberg. And I felt like that. Like my personal journey is that I was molested when I was younger. So that was a huge block physically in my body. And then I also had a bunch of daddy issues where I felt unloved by my dad. He never showed physical affection. He never told us that he loved us. So I felt very abandoned as a child. And I had a bunch of negative things with the masculine energy that I had to heal and very codependent in my relationships earlier in life. So I had all of these layers and limiting beliefs and unhealthy habits and negative experiences that happened in my life that I had to heal and clear and let go of because I wasn't ever orgasming, not by myself, not with a partner, not ever. I wasn't getting wet enough. I was always needing a lot of lube. Otherwise, sex would be really painful and hurt. And I wouldn't speak up. I had a million and two like throat chakra blocks about not feeling safe to speak my truth and say what I want, and that I wasn't feeling pleasure and it was painful, and then I wanted to do another position or I needed more lube. Like I wouldn't communicate that, and that caused so much more pain in my body. So it was just layer and layer and layer of this like huge iceberg where I numbed myself out, and it served me in those moments because my body needed it. But then it prevented me in so many other areas of my life where when I got on this healing journey, I'm like, okay, I need to like heal and release and let go of this layer. And then this one can come now, and then this one can come now. And it was just baby step by baby step by baby step. And we get those inspired actions. Like when the student's ready, the teacher appears. So if you're like struggling with something in your life right now and you're like asking the universe for support, especially in this eclipse powerful energy season of rebirth after death. So like there's releasing and letting go of things to create space for the new, because like if this water bottle was completely filled with water right now, you couldn't be like, oh, I'm going to put a different kind of liquid in there. It's like you need to release and let go of the old things that don't serve you so that you can invite new things in your life. And that can look like old relationships or stuck energy or just things in your life that you're like, that's the old version of me. Like that's like 10-year ago version of me and I don't need her and that energy in my life anymore. So it's so important for us to like show up for this because in this eclipse season, anything that we let go of is infinitely going to propel us more forward towards the things that we really do desire. And our heart's desires are for us. It's not for us to get to the end of our life and feel like we failed or that we're like resenting having these desires and dreams and never getting there. Like we can 100% get there. We're worthy and deserving of achieving this in our life. And by clearing and releasing all of this stuck energy, it'll support you moving forward exponentially more quickly. So I'm like ridiculously excited about this. And like I literally was showing up in my business being like, how can I do things in a more loving way, in a more effective way? And like one of the things that came through was collaboration. And within a couple of days, definitely within a week, Christine reached out and was like, hey, do you want to like collaborate on something? I'm really feeling this like strong pull. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so divinely guided. So if we are your teachers, if you've been like feeling stuck and feeling in resistance to things, and you're like, I've been waiting for something like this and I'm a little bit scared or nervous, if you have any questions at all, put it in the comments right now. Send us a private message about it, and we will support you on your journey wherever you're at because you need to do this work to get to that better life that you've been dreaming and desiring of. And this energy right now is super supportive of it as well. And we have more people hopping on live saying, hi, Laura, hope you're having an awesome day. And hi, Sally, and Nadine, and Natalie, and Jessica, and Natalia, and Roger, and Marie. All kinds of people popping on live. And Veronica and Terry. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. And definitely let us know if you guys have any questions that you want us to address right now, or if you're like, I like would like this specific thing to be cleared because we're also going to go into a healing for about 10 minutes for you guys as well, so you guys get a taste test of it. Definitely let us know and like tag any friends who need this. Definitely feel free to share it out with anyone else in your world who needs this positive sexual healing energy in their life now, that they can be free in their heart and soul to like move on and receive more love. Definitely tag them or share it with them. I'm just so excited about all this.
No, this is, oh, I'm like you. I am super, super excited. And,
Mhm.
um, you had said that your healing, you know, was over a decade.
Mhm.
Mine, um, my healing was probably over a decade. I just probably took a decade longer to get right to get to that spot. Um,
Mhm.
but when you start to heal those layers, just as if we're an onion, right? When you heal
Mhm.
those layers, then the next one comes up, and it's not, I'm going to say it's not as hard to heal. You're more ready, right? You're more
Right.
ready to heal that next one. And so it doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready to deal with all of this, so I'm not going to do anything. Start with
Mhm.
what you are ready for, right?
Right.
I had sexual trauma, verbally abused, emotionally abused when I was younger. So there was a lot, right, about
Mhm.
confidence and who I
Mhm.
should be as a person and how I should behave as a woman. They were all there. And so for me, learning to love myself and get confidence, right? That was my
Mhm.
first step. That was
Yes.
it. And then once I had more confidence, then I could explain and exude the confidence with my other relationships,
Mhm.
right? And then so I won't get into all the details, but most of the sexual trauma that I had encountered, I actually had totally put out of my mind um,
Mhm.
until this year, or I didn't know all the details.
Mhm.
So there were some things that triggered, right, my responses um,
Right.
to, um, yeah, they would trigger my responses in any sexual encounter or when dealing with men,
Yeah.
but not really comprehending why I would have such a big reaction to such a
Mhm.
small thing, right? There was something that happened when I was about 12, and very, very, and I mean minor, minor,
Mhm.
um, inappropriate touching. And that
Mhm.
exploded as if I had totally been molested for years. That is the way I felt. And I
Mhm.
could not explain it. It didn't make sense
Mhm.
to me. So part of me is going, Christine, like you're blowing things out of proportion. Like, why does it bother you so bad? But yet
Mhm.
internally, I still had the feeling of that trauma. Well, come to find out,
Right.
I really had that trauma, but that
Mhm.
um, had been buried. I'd buried it
Mhm.
so deep that it was only coming to light this year.
Right.
So yeah, so all the past, up until now, it was dealing with the confidence, right? And knowing I
Mhm.
am okay just the way I am. And
Yes.
it's been this year to finally deal with the sexual trauma, right? So it was dealing with
Mhm.
all the other traumas. And so the sexual one was the hardest, partly
Mhm.
because I had no clue really where it was coming from. Um,
Right.
right. So my brain was having a hard time connecting with it. And so this year, releasing that and having it so I do not have the responses I normally would, um,
Mhm.
yeah, has been awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And I always encourage my clients because I'm like, the other side is more incredibly awesome than your little human mind can comprehend of how much more freeing and loving and self-confident and how much more self-esteem you're going to have and self-love and how it's going to affect every single area of your life, not just bedroom. Like I went from like never orgasming to like multiple orgasms, squirting orgasms, like never needing lube vaginally, which was amazing and fucking awesome. And I could have never imagined that before. And then to also go from being like super shameful around it, where literally I didn't tell anyone for years and years and years and years and years. And then I finally was like, this is causing enough issue. And I was in a conscious relationship with a healer where I'm like, I'm going to tell you this, but like, we're pinky promising that you're never going to tell another soul. And like, if you tell anyone, I will kill you. Like, this is how like serious this is, that this is never leaving this room to now where I like publicly talk about it and encourage other women to face it head on because it's so freeing on the other side. And it's like really hard to comprehend in human words how much more free you feel, like how your energy feels afterwards when you release this and let go of this, how much more joyful and euphoric and just pleasure you can have in your everyday life, not just in the bedroom, when you clear and release and let go of these things and the old baggage and family traumas and wounds that you've been carrying just by having this human experience in the culture that we live in right now. So it's so important to like even if you don't remember it, because I've also found that a lot of women don't particularly remember it, and I've even had different healing experiences where I go really deep into that moment and do that inner child healing work, and more details come up and it gets a little bit more clear, and our body is going to go at the pace that we're ready for it. Like I always set my intention, so you guys can like take a second right now and write this down. I set my intention to learn my lessons with ease, speed, grace, joy, and love, because that's how I desire to learn on my journey. I'm not going to learn through hardship and pain and suffering and the negative things that the 3D world tends to have a lot of. I'm going to choose ease, speed, grace, joy, and love on my journey every single step of the way and choose that consciously every day and choose that when I go into my healing sessions and I choose it for my clients and support them and empower them to have that belief system for themselves, that they're not getting overwhelmed by all of the negative things at once or being terrified to move forward because they're scared that if they touch it then they'll break and that they won't be able to like be strong and show up how they need to in their world right now, that like you can literally bite-size piece this journey and you can move forward with love and ease and grace and support. You never have to do this alone. You don't have to keep suffering. And there's so many different ways. Like we're offering a 2 hour experience. I also have that 3 month program. We also have one-on-one sessions. Like we have resources. I have freebies and resources. I have books and like a million and two things that can support you on like your roadmap to it, because women need to stop suffering in silence about it and feeling like they're victims and that there's nothing that they can do, because that's so disempowering. Instead of being like, do you know what? That happened in the past. This is now. I can choose a different life for myself and my children and my future partners and the life that I'm choosing to co-create with the universe or God or creator right now, that you can choose something different and be empowered by all of this information to move forward however you're desiring. So I'm like so excited to also offer you guys a general healing right now. So if you guys want to set specific intentions, if you want to share a specific intention that you feel comfortable with the group right now, you can definitely do that. Or let us know in the replay what you're releasing and letting go of. You can just be like, whatever doesn't serve me. If you want to keep it general, you can like think in your head a very specific thing right now. If you're like, yep, this thing is like, it keeps coming up or it's being triggered in my relationship or my life right now, and I'm like so fucking done with it, get really clear on what that thing is, and we're going to give you guys a general healing and clearing. I'm going to tap into your guys' energy through theta healing. And if you're not familiar with theta healing, it deals with your subconscious mind through your theta brainwave, which you naturally normally go into every single day. You go into your theta brainwave when you go to bed. So it's a normal brainwave that you go into, and it just is connected with your subconscious mind. So if you're thinking of all the conscious things that you're wanting and desiring, it's like the 5% of your brain that it is, like the tip of the iceberg, where you're wanting financial freedom and security in your dream life and incredible relationships and adventures and awesome things in your reality. That's only like 5% of your entire mind's capacity, which is like amazing. The other 95% is just beneath the surface, and that's your subconscious mind. So that's been very heavily influenced by your friends and your family members and society, and it has so many limiting beliefs that keep you small, that keep you thinking in fear or worry or lack or overwhelm or scarcity or suffering or victimhood or being abused or codependent or all those things. There's those limiting beliefs in our body, and we can take the time to muscle test them and see them more deeply in sessions. But in this session, we're just going to do general clearings. So all you have to do is say yes. You can say yes in the comments to receive these beautiful healing downloads, and it will support you in changing where you're at to where you want to be. So if you imagine like a really outdated laptop and you wanted it to like perform how you want it to be doing, you would just download it with the new things. You'd update it. So it's the same thing with theta healing downloads. All you have to do is say yes to receive them. And Christine, do you want to explain a little bit about how you work with energy and how this is very complementary when we work together?
Sure thing. Yeah, because part of what I do sometimes is communicating with that subconscious, right? Because sometimes our subconscious is
Mm-hmm.
still slightly afraid to let
Mm-hmm.
go.
Yes.
Um, but really, you're tapping into the subconscious, and I'm going to tap into the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be tapping into the physical body, and I'm going to say giving my love, my help, my support to help you guys release whatever it is that you're ready to release.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so I tap in intuitively and find where the issues are in the body, in the physical body
Mm-hmm.
that are causing the issue. So whatever you guys' intentions are, in my head right now, I'm thinking people are like, well, how can she go into so many people's, minds or bodies at the same time? We all have different issues, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. It
Mm-hmm.
will make its way to you, those who watch the replay. The
Yes.
intention is there to go in and assist with the release and the removal of what no longer serves you. So whether it
Mm-hmm.
is something to do with sexual trauma, abuse, um, people having commented in certain ways for so many years that it's been bothering and depleting your confidence, whatever it is, um, we will take note of it. We will feel it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So those that watch, I generally close my eyes for one when I'm concentrating. So
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about that. And often as I'm doing my work, I will move. So again, don't be freaked out or that that you know is just me. That is how
Mm-hmm.
the universe has aided me in being able to connect with so many energies um, at once. Yeah, I find it phenomenal, but
Mm-hmm.
I know some people when they first meet me and see me doing my work, um, yeah, it's not what they're used to. So,
Hmm. Good pre-frame. I like that. So yeah, I invite you guys to give your focus and energy and attention to this call now. You guys deserve this beautiful gift. So let go of anything else. If you were kind of doing some work in the background, just focus. The more you can be present with this, the more the energy will support you. So if you're like currently driving, definitely don't like shut your eyes right now, but the more you can surrender and focus and set your intention and be present with this energy, the deeper we'll be able to go in supporting you and whatever those intentions are. And same thing for everyone who's on the replay. Everything that I do, you can say yes in the comments to receive it. And you can just take some deep breaths right now, get more clear on what that specific intention is. You can take some deep cleansing breaths. Allowing your body to more deeply relax into this present moment. And would you like to clear, release, and let go of all trauma, soul trauma, frozen energy, negative emotions, and baggage that you've been holding on to? Would you like to release this completely on all levels and resolve it on a history level so that you can move forward to your present moment? And if you would like that, you can say yes. And do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to be free from fear, from worry, from codependent and toxic relationships and people in your life, and that you're worthy and deserving of that now, that it's completely possible for you to be unconditionally loved, for you to feel that unconditional love from your higher power, whether you call that God, creator, source energy, the universe, spirit, angels, or guides, that you can receive at a deeper level this unconditional love and support in your life, that you can unconditionally love yourself, and that you can receive unconditional love by others, by your tribe, by your soul family, by your clients, by your partner, by your friends, by your family members, by strangers, and that you know what it looks like and feels like to vibrate at the frequency of unconditional love, that you feel safe being a loving being and expressing this to the world, and that you know through your higher power how to move forward in inspired action on your journey to be in alignment with this love, with this highest vibrational frequency in the universe, that you can see yourself as a loving being, and that you can move forward on your journey in love with ease, speed, grace, joy, and loving support on your journey. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And would you like to release and let go of any and all pressure, heaviness, weight, responsibility, resistance, and struggle in your life right now? Would you like to know what it looks like and feels like to be free of this, to live without continuously attracting this into your life, without conflicts, without struggle, without abuse, without fight, and without attracting people who tend to bring out the worst in you, that you can clear, release, and let go of all of this now, and that you are choosing and have decided to be a loving being in your life, that you've decided to step into this higher vibrational frequency version of yourself, this version 2.0 or 10.0 or whatever version of yourself that you choose to be on right now, that you can step into her or him now. And if you would like that, you can say yes. Do you want to cut the cords, bonds, vows, commitments, oaths, obligations, and blood oaths to these old vibrations, these old ways of being, these old habits and behaviors, and this old identity that was holding you back? Do you want to clear and release and let go of your identity of being a victim, of always having bad luck or negative things happen, or like this luck of the draw quote experience, and that you know that you can safely let go of that now and create space for new experiences, new opportunities, new projects, new friends, new support systems, and new doors of opportunity, that you know that you're worthy and deserving of this now, and that you can step forward on your journey to experience this. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Do you want to clear any and all old stagnant energy from your throat chakra and root chakra from yourself now, that you know what it looks like and feels like to have harmony, balance, love, and alignment in these chakras, and that you can move forward consistently knowing what it looks like and feels like when you're out of alignment, when your body's showing you these red flags that are coming up in your reality, and that you can live your life without going into those old patterns, behaviors, or thought processes, without downward spiraling, without self-punishment or self-sabotage, and that you can move forward on your journey with ease, speed, grace, joy, and love, and choosing the more loving path. And that you know what that looks like and feels like in your reality, in your body, in your relationships, in your career, in your experiences, in your everyday life, so you can move forward. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And if you can think right now of something that you've been telling yourself that you can't, or that it's really, really hard, or you're just trying and trying and trying to do something and it's not working. So whether that's have more money, have a loving partner, get married or have children, or get a promotion or more money or more clients or more impact or income in the world, whatever that thing is that you've been telling yourself, take a moment to get really clear on what that thing is now. And you want to mark those lessons that you've been trying to learn through heartache, pain, suffering, emotional or physical abuse, that you can mark all of those lessons as complete now, and that you can choose to move forward on your journey with ease, speed, grace, joy, and love in this area of your life. And that your energy can match this vibrational frequency of love in this area. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And do you want to forgive yourself for choosing in the past those hardships, those pains, those suffering areas, any and all old trauma or wounds or conflicts, that you can forgive yourself for all of those experiences, that you can release and let go of that shame, that blame, that guilt within yourself, and that you can also forgive completely on all levels any other people that had anything to do with that experience, any old partner or family member or abuse or experience that wasn't in your highest and best good, that you can release all of that old energy now and forgive any human person who had any like touch point in that. So whether their experience in it was big or small, or just a judgment or snide remarks or comments, that you can clear that old energy from you completely now, so that you can move forward, that you're forgiving for yourself, so you can free yourself from this old energy and move forward into that dream and desire that you've been really wanting to come into fruition. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And then we can wrap up this beautiful healing experience by integrating all of these changes. I can also offer you a general healing for any other area that's ready to be healed in your body and in your life right now through your higher power. And we can fill you up with your higher power's unconditional love, compassion, joy, happiness, peace, abundance, bliss, and pleasure in your life. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And you can take some deep cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself back into this present moment. And I definitely encourage you to take a drink of water. Hydration is so, so, so important.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And definitely let us know how that is in the comments below. And even if you're catching the replay, let us know how that was for you, how that's feeling in your body. It's definitely feeling a lot more light and open. My hands are sweaty. My hands are usually like very cold. And there was so much energy moving. So definitely let us know how that felt for you. And if you're feeling called to, share it with those people in your life who need it, that friend or family member or soul sister or partner in your life that needs to release and let go of old energy that's not serving them so that they can move forward. So you can feel free to share it, to tag them below, or if you want, you can copy that link and send it to them in a private message so that they can benefit from this beautiful healing energy in their life. And we're going to definitely put the links to the different events. So the Fredericton one tomorrow, that's from 7 to 9. We'll put that link there, and also the one that we're going to do on a Friday evening 2 weeks from now. Same experience, just in an online version so that everyone can have access to this beautiful healing experience in their lives. And Christine, do you want to let them know how they can also connect with you after the show if they're really vibing with your energy and they want to follow you?
Sure thing. And I will put a link to my business page
Beautiful.
afterwards. I own and run your revitalized energy, so you can contact me through that page or my personal messenger, Christine Cliff. Yeah, I would be happy to hear from anyone. If you guys have vibed with me, the
Mm,
energy that we worked on was phenomenal. A lot
yes.
of people, whether you're on now or it's in the replay, and this is kind of most women have this anyway, is that they hold a lot of old heart hurts um,
Hmm.
in their body, and we really had to work on some that had to do with childhood, the hurts and pains from the childhood that is still trapped um,
Hmm.
in the body, and really it
Hmm.
really deep seated in the body. So yeah, thank you everyone who was on here
Hmm.
and allowed that connection. And for
Hmm.
me and for Laura to be able to help you with this healing, because it really was. I know that was just a short time, but it's
Hmm.
amazing how much you guys allowed us to assist in the release and
Yes.
what where the energies and emotions were released from in the body. It was phenomenal.
Hmm. Yes, definitely. There's so much energy, a lot of mm, yeah, release and feel more light and freer and like openness,
Yeah.
like to be able to receive more.
Yes. Yeah. There
Hmm.
really was that. It was like this layer came off. It's like, oh, okay, letting that go and just,
Hmm.
yeah, you're right. To receive more is exactly that.
Hmm.
Those are the right words in, yeah, for
Yeah.
that energy healing. Yeah.
Hmm. Beautiful. I'll check back into everyone who's joining us while I had my eyes shut. Hi, Sasha and Leanne and Felicity and Michael and Cindy and Barbara and Curtis and Bernard. Hope you guys are all having a beautiful day. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for doing this work. It's so important for each and every one of us to do what we're feeling called to doing, our next best step, so we can all be that change for ourselves, for our family, and be that change that we want to see in the world. Even if the only thing that we ever do is focus on our healing energy and raising our vibration and the love in us and our frequency, that has incredible ripple effects in everyone else in this human experience. So it's so important. I honor you guys so much for being brave and vulnerable and opening yourself up to this beautiful healing. And if you're feeling called, definitely check in below to those two events that are coming up so that we can support you on your journey, or reach out if you have any questions at all. There's no stupid questions. I know that that tends to be a resistance thing for people. They're like, I don't know if this is weird, or like, I don't know if this is stupid or not. Like, There is nothing stupid or weird about anything that's coming up for you, and feel free. We're very open books to share with either one of us what's coming up for you and what you're desiring to heal and let go of, or if you're just curious about the event or how that looks like, what a group healing is, if this is like more the beginning of your spiritual journey and you're like not really sure what we mean by like a sacred container to help you heal and a safe space and all those things. If you have any questions at all, definitely let us know and we will support you wherever you're at on your journey right now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Love and Light Show. I definitely encourage you to consistently make it a habit in your week. So we go live every Wednesday and Friday at 1 Atlantic, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific. And thank you so much for joining us, Christine, and for sharing your beautiful healing with us, for your light in the world, and for this beautiful joint co-creation that we're doing with everyone else who's feeling
Yes,
called,
yes,
all of
thank
our beautiful soul sisters. Thank you guys so much, and we're sending you so much love, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
you. Bye.